she said coldly. You have no right to decide my weekend plans. We're not even married yet. I'd reserved a table at one of the city's finest restaurants, ready to propose with the Van Cleef diamond ring she'd been dreaming of, but she chose to go on a trip with her friends instead. When she returned, her mood had darkened. I got home from work. The apartment was quiet, almost empty. I called her. She picked up instantly. Loud music and laughter spilled from the phone. Hey Ryan, she said. I'm heading to the airport. The girls and I decided to spend a few days at the beach. It's a last-minute thing. I paused. You're serious? Tonight was important. She sighed. Ryan, you have no right to decide my weekend plans. We're not married yet. I didn't respond. I just stared at the floor, phone in hand. Then I hung up. For a moment, everything felt hollow. And then something shifted. The frustration faded. The sadness melted away. All that remained was a quiet clarity. I looked at the small ring box on the table, the one I planned to give her tonight. I knew what I had to do next. We'd been together for 2 years. I'm Ryan, with a stable job and my own apartment. Ava moved in about a year ago. From the beginning, I covered rent, the largest expense, and most groceries. She only handled utilities, internet, electricity, and cleaning. It seemed fair at first, but gradually I realized I was covering nearly everything that mattered. Ava is very social. She has a tight-knit group called the Sparrows. They hang out almost daily, take sudden trips, and post everything online. I was never part of that. I'm not someone who needs constant outings. I enjoy quiet dinners, small moments, trips planned thoughtfully. Ava thrives on noise, parties, and crowds. In our relationship, I was the organizer. I remembered dates, booked restaurants, bought gifts, and tried to make every moment special. She often canceled plans at the last minute, sometimes because she was tired, sometimes for spontaneous hangouts. I rarely argued. I thought she needed her space. But over time, it stopped feeling like a partnership. Her friends treated my apartment as if it were theirs, showing up uninvited, eating my food, leaving messes. Ava called me too serious. When I decided to propose, I hoped it would restore balance, maybe show her how much she meant to me. I spent weeks planning the dinner and saving for the ring. But when she canceled without hesitation to go on a random trip with her friends, I finally saw the truth. It wasn't about priorities alone. It was about respect. I was giving everything, and she didn't notice. That night, I stopped trying to prove my worth to someone who never valued it. I sat on the couch, staring at the ring box. After a long pause, I opened it. The ring was perfect, but the meaning had gone. I didn't feel sad, just done. I picked up my phone and called Mike, my best friend. He answered immediately. Hey man, what's up? I'm buying dinner tonight, I said. He laughed. What's the occasion? My freedom, I replied. Bring Josh and Lena. Same restaurant as usual. That night, I arrived at the restaurant in the same suit I planned for the proposal. The staff remembered me. The reservation was still active. I asked them to keep the table for 4, just me and my friends. When they arrived, Josh looked around. Where's Ava? She's not coming, I said. Actually, she's gone for good. We sat, ordered drinks, and I explained everything, the call, her words, the trip. Nobody interrupted. When I finished, I placed the ring box on the table. This was meant for her tonight, I said. Now it's just a reminder of how naive I was. Silence followed for a few seconds. Then Mike raised his glass. To lessons learned. And to better women ahead, Lena added. We laughed and toasted. The mood felt strange at first, a mix of relief and disbelief. Soon tension eased. We joked and laughed over old stories. I hadn't felt this relaxed in months. For a moment, I thought about how different the night had turned out. Same table, same suit, but a completely new reason to smile. At one point, Lena said, Ryan, this might be the healthiest thing you've done all year. I smiled. It's about time, right? Mike ordered way too much food, steaks, desserts, wine. A breakup banquet, he called it. For me, it didn't feel like a breakup. It felt like freedom. Before leaving, Lena asked, "Want me to take a picture?" We stood together, glasses raised, smiling. She snapped a few shots. "Should I post one?" "No," I said. "Let's keep it between us." It wasn't about showing off. It was about real friendship, people who were there when I needed them most. Later that night, I returned home, put the ring box back in the drawer, and looked around. Same apartment, same silence, but now it felt like mine again. After dinner, I started packing, not my things, but hers. It took all night. I folded her clothes, sorted makeup, shoes, all her belongings, and packed everything into boxes. It wasn't anger, it was closure. The apartment finally looked clean. I hadn't changed the locks yet. I wanted her to take her things herself, without drama. 3 days later, I heard the door unlock. Ava entered, sunglasses on, a few shopping bags in hand, still tan from her trip. She froze when she saw the boxes. "Hey," she said casually. "Why is everything packed?" I stayed calm. "Your stuff's ready for pickup." Her expression shifted from confusion to shock, then to anger. "You're serious? You're kicking me out." "What the hell, Ryan?" I nodded. "You said it yourself? I have no right to plan your weekend. You're not my wife, so you don't have to live here either." She dropped her bags. "I was just joking. You're overreacting." "You can't just, I can," I interrupted. "It's my apartment. I pay the rent." She laughed bitterly. "Oh, so now it's just money. You think paying for this gives you control?" "No," I said quietly. "I just deserve respect, which I haven't had for a long time." She paced. "You're unbelievable. I go away a few days and you lose it. Are you even hearing yourself?" I didn't reply. I carried a few boxes closer to the door. Then the ring box fell from my jacket pocket. Ava froze. "What's that?" she asked. She picked it up, opened it, and froze. Inside was the Van Qley and Arpel ring. Her anger vanished. You were going to propose?" she whispered. I said nothing. Her eyes widened. "Ryan, I had no idea. If I had, I know." I interrupted. "You ignored everything else. The calls, the plans. That's what mattered." Her eyes welled up. "Please, can we talk?" For a second, I almost felt sympathy. Then I remembered the cancellations, the way she treated me like an option. I pulled my hand away. "Don't. You don't get to fix this. I already did." She looked confused. "The dinner still happened," I said. "I shared it with people who actually care about me." Her lips trembled. "You're lying." "I'm not. Mike, Lena, and Josh. Same restaurant, same table. It was a celebration of freedom." Her tears stopped. Anger replaced guilt. "You humiliated me. Made me look like a fool." "No," I said quietly. "You did that yourself." She screamed. "You'll regret this. Everyone will know the man you really are." I just pointed at the boxes. "Your Uber will be here in 5 minutes." For a moment she stared. Then grabbed a box, wiped her face, and left. A week passed. I thought it was over. Then messages poured in, old friends, coworkers, even cousins asking what happened. I opened Instagram. Ava had posted a long story. She claimed I planned to propose and then immediately threw her out, celebrating with friends. She attached photos from that night, including the ring box. The post went viral. Hundreds of likes, brutal comments. People called me controlling, abusive. I didn't respond or post anything. I didn't need to. By the end of the day, Mike called. "She really did it, huh?" "Yeah. Let her have her moment," I said. Lena wasn't as calm. Within hours, Lena and Josh posted corrections online. They reminded everyone the dinner was a breakup recovery, not a celebration of humiliation. Neighbors added their support. The truth spread fast. By the next morning, Ava deleted her post. Her friends faced backlash too. Days later, she texted me for the first time since moving out. "I didn't mean for it to go this far. Can we talk?" I stared at the message for a while, then deleted it. After everything, I cut contact completely. I returned the Van Qley and our Pell ring through the resale program. At first it felt strange, but walking out lighter, the apartment quiet, was a relief. The first nights alone felt odd, then normal. I focused on work, returned to the gym, reconnected with friends. Months later, I met someone new, Emma, through a mutual friend. She was calm, kind, and honest. Conversations flowed naturally. I didn't have to compete for attention. As our relationship deepened, I considered proposing again. This time, I bought a new ring, different brand, symbolizing something fresh. When I gave it to Emma, I said, "This isn't just about marriage. It's about starting something honest together." She smiled and said yes. For the first time, it felt right. Looking back, I don't regret what happened with Ava. It taught me the most important lesson: never stay where you're treated like an option. Sometimes losing the wrong person opens space for the right one.